We will present just one fact that will clearly and vividly show every skeptic how critical the situation with our planet is. Additionally, we will explain why this information could halt all wars at the present moment. To start, let's look at the events that have happened on our planet over the past week. People, villages, and wildlife are perishing from fires in Turkey. Heavy rains caused a passenger train crash in Russia. Extreme heat led to a massive power grid failure in the Balkans. Torrential waters washed away a popular tourist village in France. Hail the size of a fist struck several countries in Europe. Historic floods in the Midwest, USA. Several dams were destroyed. For more details on the climate disasters that occurred on the planet from June 19th to June 26th, see this report. Turkey. In Turkey, large wildfires broke out in several provinces amid strong winds and scorching summer temperatures. In the southeastern regions of the country, fires started from stubble burning and quickly spread to several villages. The disaster claimed the lives of 15 people and injured 78 more. A total of 15,000 hectares of agricultural land were destroyed. Many animals perished in the flames. In just 3 weeks of June this year, Turkey experienced almost 5 times more wildfires than in the same period last year. Russia. On June 20th, a powerful storm named Edgar hit Moscow in Russia. Torrential rains and destructive winds with speeds of up to 25 mph plunged the capital into chaos. This was not the first strike of extreme weather on Moscow this month. Meteorologists have already named this June the rainiest in the region's history of weather observations. The most destruction was caused by hurricane-force winds that swept away everything in their path. In Moscow and the Moscow region, the wind uprooted more than 1,800 trees. People clung to poles and moved on all fours to avoid being blown away. Torn off roofs, mangled fences, damaged cars, and shattered windows in houses were left in the wake of Storm Edgar. Several tornadoes were also observed, an absolutely atypical phenomenon for the region. As a result of the storm, 2 people died and at least 37 were injured. On June 26th, a passenger train traveling from Vorkuta to Novorossiysk derailed near the Inta station. The accident occurred due to the washout of the railway tracks by abnormally heavy rains that had hit the region for several days. 9 out of 14 carriages derailed at full speed and overturned, leading to serious consequences. 2 people died, 70 were injured, and 10 of them were in serious condition. A special train from the Ministry of Emergency Situations was dispatched to assist the victims, as it was impossible for doctors and rescuers to reach the crash site due to the impassable taiga and swamps. An attempt was also made to send 5 carriages with uninjured passengers to Novorossiysk, but the train could not continue its journey due to another washout of the railway tracks on a different section of the route. Balkans. On June 21st, massive power outages occurred in the countries of the Balkan Peninsula. In this region, a heat wave of 40 degrees Celsius persisted for several days. Due to the high temperatures, energy consumption sharply increased, overloading the power grids and causing them to fail. Such a large-scale outage happened in the region for the first time, leading to a true collapse in the Balkans. In the capital of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Sarajevo, trams stopped running, traffic lights went out, and many people were stranded in elevators. In Split, Croatia, traffic jams formed throughout the city, preventing even ambulances from passing through. Thousands of tourists in Dubrovnik faced closures of beaches, cafes, and even supermarkets due to the power outage. Football fans in pubs were unable to watch Euro Championship games because of the electricity cutoff. The economy of the tourist city suffered significantly due to the weather anomaly. In Podgorica, Montenegro, many residents were left without water because pumps stopped working, and the shutdown of air conditioners exacerbated the impact of the heat. Romania imposed weight restrictions on vehicles traveling on national roads to prevent damage to the road surface, which was starting to melt due to the abnormal heat, posing a risk of deformation by heavy transport. Bosnia and Herzegovina. On June 22nd, hail the size of an apple caused significant damage in the Doboj Istok municipality of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Agricultural crops, orchards, and greenhouses were affected. 12 solar power stations were damaged. Hail shattered car windshields and roofing tiles on many residential homes, clinics, schools, and factories. Now, these buildings are unprotected from rain, which could lead to even greater damage. Czech Republic. Powerful storms with heavy rains and large hailstones up to 10 centimeters in size occurred in the Czech Republic. Winds reached speeds of 100 kilometers per h, and in some places, up to 25 mm of precipitation fell within 10 minutes. In the Moravia region, water poured from the ceiling of the Janáček Theatre during a concert. The Punkva caves were also flooded and had to be closed to tourists. People were so shocked by the events that mass inquiries about the weather caused a collapse of the Czech Hydrometeorological Institute's website. France. Several days of heavy rains and intense snowmelt in the mountains caused catastrophic damage to the Écrins National Park in France. It's worth noting that the park had only recently been restored after the devastating floods of 2023. On the night of June 21st, the popular tourist destination, the village of La Bérarde, known as the Mecca of mountaineering, was washed away by a torrent of water and rocks. Almost nothing remains of the village. The roads are impassable. The only bridge is destroyed, leaving 97 people stranded. Mountaineers, tourists, and local residents were evacuated in time with the help of 4 helicopters. Both stationary and mobile communications were damaged, complicating rescue operations. Local residents are in despair because their tourism business has been completely destroyed by the natural disaster. Switzerland. Strong storms and rains caused sudden flooding and landslides in southeastern Switzerland. 1 person died and 2 others are missing. Since June 21st, the famous Swiss resort of Zermatt has been completely cut off from the world due to the overflow of the Wispa River. On this day, 2 months' worth of precipitation fell, with a significant portion occurring within an hour. Azerbaijan. From June 20th onwards, storms, downpours, and hailstorms ravaged western regions of Azerbaijan, causing significant damage. Winds tore off roofs of houses, knocked down mature trees onto cars, buildings, and roads. Thousands of subscribers experienced power outages. In the city of Ganja, flash floods inundated streets, many yards, and homes. 1 person died and 8 were injured due to the rampage of the elements. USA. In the Midwest of the USA, incessant rains led to historic floods, resulting in significant damage and the evacuation of residents. 2 people died as a result. At least 20 rivers set historical water level records. A state of emergency was declared in Iowa. In Rock Valley early in the morning, a dam burst, leading to the urgent evacuation of residents. City authorities even activated tornado sirens to warn citizens of the dangerous situation. In Lyon County, a train derailed with 9 cars swept away by floodwaters. The flood damaged more than 1,900 buildings, hundreds of which were completely destroyed. Many towns in the state were left without electricity, drinking water, and sewage services. Hospitals and nursing homes were evacuated. In South Dakota, on the evening of June 23rd, a railroad bridge collapsed due to flooding over the Big Sioux River. In Minnesota, a dam partially failed, sending torrents of water downstream into populated areas. The flood destroyed a power station and a home. During the deadly floods, the National Weather Service experienced a major data failure. This prevented meteorologists from accessing crucial information needed for weather forecasts and life-threatening climate event warnings. And now, let's move on to the fact. According to the European Database of Dangerous Weather Events, from 2000 to 2004, there were 661 cases of abnormal precipitation in Europe, while from 2019 to 2023, there were 29,031 cases, which is 44 times more. You can find this information in the Scientist Report, where you will learn many more alarming facts. If a significant portion of the world's population grasps the information presented in the report, there is a greater likelihood that all wars will cease. People will understand that it makes no sense to divide and decide who is in charge here when there may soon be nothing left. It's much better to find common ground and work together to save this home. Then people will realize that uniting is much more beneficial, safer, and more interesting than warring and destroying each other. Remember, all global changes start with information. Study it and share it with everyone you can. This will be your significant contribution to saving your own life and the lives of those close to you.